Guess what? I'm touching something. Hello, welcome into Total Fool Reacts. This is my channel on YouTube where I listen to music requested by you, the lovely commenters of previous videos. Alright, we're going to delve into a new group for the channel. This group is called Mastodon, and the song is called The Last Baron. Clearly, I know nothing of this group. I have never heard a song by Mastodon in my life. And I imagine it's going to be something of the death metal, tall, or something like that genre. And it's a 13-minute song, so buckle up, wear your safety harnesses of any variety, as long as it restrains you from crashing through the windshield that is the vehicle of this channel. I don't like that my metaphor was so focused on death and carnage, but maybe that's what Mastodon brings out of me. Alright, I'm going to stop doing this stuff now and get on with the reaction. Okay, this is going to be my reaction to The Last Baron by Mastodon. Let's begin. By the way, I should mention, this is the official visualizer, so not sure if there's a music video for the song, but this is what I found. So I imagine this will be quite interesting to look at, which is why I put myself in this tiny little circle for y'all, so you can enjoy the visualization of the artistry that is presented before you and not my dumb face. Let's go back to the very beginning, 3 seconds into the past. Okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. Musically very, it's not as up-tempo, it's not as insane, maybe, as I was expecting. It's sort of mellow. Maybe that'll change, but yeah, it's a mellow start. An epic feel, right? It feels big and substantial. It feels like it's not a throwaway event, like there's something big happening here. But yeah, just not, everything's very subdued right now. But I like it. Let's go on. Alright, sorry to pause. This is 13 minutes, so I will try to refrain from pausing so often. But I'm just looking at the visualizer that's presented here. And I will, this might not be the area that this is meant to represent, but it makes me think of sort of old ancient Chinese sort of varying dynasties type of a time frame or time period. And it made me think that this style of music and groups that are into this style of music or that make this type of music tend to a lot of times be very interested and influenced by ancient cultures, ancient myths, ancient legends, ancient, practices and beliefs and things like that. Is that fair to say? I'm saying it. So I'm either fair or I'm unfair. Fair? Okay, definitely a big change up happening here. I'll go back to capture the beginning of that. This is pretty cool. I like this a lot, actually. This might be something I give a few more listens to on my own free time. I have a playlist that I've put together of music that I've reacted to on here that I care to revisit. There's definitely some that I really am not interested in revisiting, but this I think is one of them. I mean, we're only 3 minutes in, so a lot can happen, a lot can change, but I don't foresee this totally crapping the bed. Sorry, Mastodon. I don't mean any disrespect. But yes, is this a bear? The animal in the center here? The snout looks a little bit long, maybe. But everything else to me says bear. Let's go back and enjoy. okay, gotta take a breather here. We'll let it play for a little while. That was definitely cranked up on the intensity scale. Still, to me, it's tasteful. It's not just crazy instrumentals just for crazy instrumental's sake, if that makes sense. So I'm not really into it when, a band just wants to show off and show how fast they can play. Because if what's that saying? If everybody's special, then no one's special. If it's all just craziness, then none of it's crazy. So I like the change-ups here. They seem like they have purpose. They're not just there to be there. More song! Sorry to pause again. There are enough change-ups. Long songs are hard to do to keep someone's attention. They can either be just repetitive the whole way through or so insanely crazy that it's hard to follow. Like you get lost. These change-ups are interesting and dynamic enough that they keep you engaged and interested without getting lost. And I like some of these subtle touches, like I can hear in the percussion. I'm not sure if it's just a simple cymbal work or it sounds too high pitched, like almost like it's a triangle or some other kind of note. Just little flavors like that. I really appreciate. And I'm going to stop talking now, and we're going to hear more song. There was that, I know it's a little ways back now. I didn't want to pause a whole lot every time something interesting happened, because that'd be like, me pausing every 12 seconds. But there was that very interesting guitar section where it reminded me of King Crimson. And to be more specific, more of, 80s King Crimson, probably. Maybe they take inspiration from them. I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot. I'm a total fool, as you know. More song now. Coursing through his veins, riding inward train, seas to the end. Praise psychic eyes, faith and mystic power. Okay. So there's just enough chaos. So far they haven't overdone the chaos. So and I like a lot of the tones they're using with the guitars. I hear some familiarity as far as some stuff I've heard from Soundgarden in here on that last little section there. Yeah, every change up it doesn't seem out of place, and it's different enough that it really keeps you invested. So yeah, this is solid work. Let's continue. Hey, all right, pausing again, just because it's just something I have to do, although I'm probably not doing it nearly as much as I am supposed to be, according to the rules I must follow. But anyway, there is a bit of, it is a bit repetitive, I'll give it that. It does keep falling back to these similar elements, and I know that probably is the chorus, so to speak. And so that's going to happen in a song. I wonder sometimes a song like this, when it does get repetitive in some areas, what is the desire to make it a 13-minute song, when it could be somewhere around 7 or 8 minutes. And by most standards, that's still a very long song. But I wonder what that is. There just an insistence, like, come on, guys, we want to make this at least 13 minutes. It lands on 13 exactly. You think that was maybe a goal? I'm not sure. I'm not in the minds of Mastodon. I never have been. All right, that was The Last Baron by Mastodon. What I like about this song is that it's very big, right? It's a very full sound. There are elements where it's not quite so big and so full, but when it gets full, like especially that ending, it's very, very, very well done. It's constructed well, it's arranged well, it's mixed well. Sometimes, the percussion especially seemed to be a little buried underneath everything else. I would have liked the percussion to be a little more prominent because that guy was not taking a break during that song at all. There was nonstop with him or them. Maybe there's more than one drummer. There's at least two guitars, right? Bass. I'm not sure how many members are in this band, how many instruments are featured, but there was a clear, I guess you would call that a solo at the end. Was that a solo, technically? Guitar solo? I'm very interested to hear more Mastodon. I think that these are guys I could spend some time with and play their songs multiple times. I could see myself going back to this just to take it all in, for one thing. It's so much. So that was my reaction to The Last Baron by Mastodon. And I want to thank you for sticking with me to the end if you have. And as always, if there's anything else that you would like for me to react to next, be it by Mastodon or anyone else, please leave it down in the comments section below. I guess unless you're looking at your phone or whatever upside down, in which case it's above. Are there any formats on YouTube where the comment section is but to the side of the video? Look, just leave it where you leave comments. I can't help you. I hope that helps.